14-week-old Bernedoodle sleeps 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. in crate, but still won't go in crate without bribing with a treat. Any tips? Yes. A leash, no potty breaks at night. That's awesome. But yeah, you've got to stop putting yourself in a position where the dog tells you no. And so every time you are going to go into that bedroom, put your dog in crate, you're going to put the dog on a leash and you're going to use food. And if they probably won't follow food in the beginning, but you've got the leash. And so you can kind of do a little leash pressure. He's got a technique that we've done quite a few times, and I think the really hard one was like a Bernedoodle or an Aussie Doodle. And anyway, you keep that pressure on, the leash pressure, like in crate, and you wait till they go in house. You could say it once, you could drop food in there, but here's the thing. You can't just do that when you leave. You have to also just choose 5 minutes once or twice a day to do house, sit, if the dog knows sit, pause, let's go, turn around, house. And do it 10 times in a row. And they don't have to stay in there. It's just part of their training. So you're just training it as a command. You want to do your lift up, and she's going to encounter that.
One hand is on leash. You get them as close. So the off screen is going to be our crate door. So I take my arm, I hold the leash usually right above the harness, and I kind of guide them as close to the door of the crate as I can, which for a Schnauzer, any dog that's a bit more stubborn and feisty, means that they're literally back feet are kind of off the ground and they're just leaning on their front feet and just anchoring as hard as they can. Yeah. That's fine. It's no big deal. We're not going to shove them in there.
And they won't follow food.
I hold the pressure. Yeah, they're not following food. That's why this doesn't work for food stuff. Pressure. Hand goes under the bum, and I try to scoop the tail with my hand. Oh, Schnauzer, no tail. Ha!
Oh, this is a Bernedoodle.
Oh, Bernedoodle. Okay, cool. You're going to kind of scoop that tail under their butt, lift up slightly, and you kind of just use the butt to steer them back in. So when I try to push in and they go left with the front of their body, I go left with the butt, which makes them kind of do this and have to straighten out. And eventually they are like, what the heck's going on? And they choose to voluntarily walk in, and then I just let them right back out.
With their front legs. With their front legs.
Feet, yes. Back feet too, as well, after
a few. After a few minutes.
It just takes a little bit of time. Once you do that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, then I start giving food in the crate, because that's really what the hard part is, and I don't give food for the break to release them from crate, because that's the fun part. That's the part they want.
And that's the thing, is that people think that they're doing something wrong because they're having to like force the dog. Well, sometimes you got to do a little bit of force. I think this is a good meet me halfway. Like the front legs walk in as I'm using the back leg, the bum to scoot in, because they don't have a choice. They can't go backwards, so they will eventually walk forwards. But anyway, this kind of in-between way of doing it is really helpful for the dog, because they're still doing some work on their own, and they do this 2, 3, 4 times. And if they have even a little bit of food motivation, then they'll start to take food, because you've gotten them over their mental block. I just did this technique with a dog. I was able to use guidance to get him to do open stairs, but there was this gap. It's kind of a scary gap. There was this gap between the stairs and the apartment building, and it was a scary gap. And so I could not just do pressure, because I knew the dog would slide and that paw would go in there. Because it's a decent gap, so the dog needed confidence to do it. So what I did instead is I put my feet in the doorway, and then I lifted the bum, and I did exactly what you said until he made the choice to step forward. I did that twice, never had to do it again. The owner had to do it once the next day. We did it right then and there, but then the next day put on the brakes again. So she didn't even try any other way, just did that. And what it does is it unlocks this mental barrier that they've built up in their mind, and then they're just like cool with it. And they're still anxious, but they're cool with actually doing it. And then 3 days later, they're not anxious about it anymore. If you use food, they might not be anxious about it the same day. And so anyway, hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of why that works. And if you wanted to stay patient forever and not do any of that, fine. Go to Vaughn's, go to Kroger, get a roast chicken, take the skin off, use the white meat so you don't get diarrhea, tiny, tiny pieces, and do some chicken. Just sit there and do some chicken training. Just skip a meal, just one meal, dog will be fine. And do some chicken training. And you could do it that way too if you didn't want to do our way. I think our way is better for helping the dog through something hard mentally.
We're helping them troubleshoot. The other way is more of like kind of, it's like giving them an easier route.
Yes. And I think it's a good challenge that I can control, unlike outside where lots of challenges you can't control. It's a good bonding thing between the two of us that I help them get over rather than sitting on the ground and using a piece of chicken. But honestly, both of them are good scenarios. I just always, anytime a dog doesn't want to do something, I'm like, yes, how can I find a way to get them to do it with guidance that has to do with me, not just following a piece of food. I like those opportunities, but they can make some people uncomfortable or sometimes they don't work. So there's the food thing. Just
You have options.
You have options.
You have options.